So what in the world is environmental law, and why do you keep hearing the words Sackett and West Virginia? Let me give you a hint. These people have something to do with that. That's the Supreme Court, by the way. Just So if you're into environmental news, you might have heard recently, oh, the Supreme Court just made a decision in Sackett v. the EPA, and it's going to change everything. But who the heck are the Sacketts? And what is the big dealio? Them's is the Sacketts. Basically, they have land. They were dumping things on their land, and they have a little trench where all these things where they were dumping it was running into what's called Priest Lake, which is what they call a water of the United States, a navigable water. That definition is for a different video, but what you need to know is that what they were dumping was connected to this lake. Under the Clean Water Act, don't get overwhelmed. Under the Clean Water Act, it says that if you want to dump something into a water of the United States, a navigable water, like I was saying, you need to have a permit for that. They didn't have a permit, so they got sued. But they said, well, why do I even need a permit? I'm just dumping this into my land. I'm not dumping this into the lake, even though it's literally connected. And the Clean Water Act says, well, even if you're not dumping it straight into the lake, you're dumping it into a water adjacent to the lake. Now let me see a show of hands. What does adjacent mean, huh? Ooh, next to. I don't know, close by. I was thinking more like adjoining or maybe even neighboring or something like that. Well, Merriam-Webster says not distant, nearby, immediately preceding or following. So, great. So if adjacent means next to, nearby, something of the sort, neighboring, something like that, do you think that if they're dumping something next to this navigable water, that would be something that the Clean Water Act is trying to protect? I guess. Exactly, because that's what the word adjacent means. But these lovely people decided that, adjacent doesn't mean neighboring. These lovely people, because they're so smart and had to make it on the Supreme Court somehow, they deserve to be there, right? They decided that adjacent means continuous surface connection. Connected to. So apparently adjacent means connected to. Tulane, why does this matter? Well, it's important because now that means the Clean Water Act doesn't get to protect as much. People get to dump things next to a body of water that's navigable and waters of the United States and not be reprimanded and not need a permit because there's no continuous surface connection. What do you think? Did the Supreme Court make sense? Argument on fair notice to come.